The opinions expressed on the Simone Edwards Show by our guests are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of the station, its owners, and or the Simone Edwards Show and those affiliated with it. In no event will the Simone Edwards Show, this station, its owners, guests, hosts, or affiliates be liable for the information disseminated on the program, including, without limitation, any loss or damage, indirect or otherwise, arising from information presented on the show. We trust you are of legal age and will consult appropriate professionals prior to employing any opinion expressed on the show. Many of the topics discussed are personal in nature, and some people may disagree with the opinions expressed on the show. We are open to your constructive criticism and or ideas for future radio programs. Please feel free to email us at the Simone Edwards Show at gmail.com. Again, that's the Simone Edwards Show at gmail.com. All right. We are back here in studio on the Simone Edwards Show. We are so excited that you have chosen to join us this Saturday afternoon. We have in studio Miss Tiffany Lashe of Tiffany Lashe Photography. She is a part of our new Businesses to Watch segment, and we are going to jump right in and get to know Miss Tiffany. First and foremost, Tiffany, say hi to our audience.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
They said hi. They said hi back.
I was like, hey.
Hey girl, what's going on? So, let's get to know you just a little bit, Tiffany.
Wait. Before we go into that, we have a birthday girl in the house, so let's go ahead and sing happy birthday.
For a moment, I was like, who? Who's the birthday girl?
I know, I was like, oh my god, I can think of my birthday song. This is June.
I was really looking around like, wait a minute, whose birthday? Let's sing happy birthday.
Well, for those of you who don't know, yesterday was Minister Simone's birthday.
Hi, woo woo.
So let's take a minute just to sing happy birthday. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Wait, remix. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Wait, is this the Cabbage Patch? Wait, is that the one that's the Cabbage Patch? Wait,
It's this one.
Okay, this is the Cabbage Patch. Okay, yeah, I promise you guys, we are going to, by request, we will definitely get video so you can see what we're doing in studio. But I really tried to do the Cabbage Patch. I'm not sure if it was the Cabbage Patch I was doing.
I think it was, you did good.
I did? Okay. I know the Running Man. It wasn't the Running Man. Wait, what's this one? What's this one?
That was
that was Fresh Prince.
90s.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince.
There we go.
So I'm going to try to describe it for our audience. It's when you bounce your shoulders up and down and you kind of...
And you do this little swoop.
And the
It's the same
swoop.
thing that Will Smith does in like every episode of Fresh Prince.
Okay, so we are back. We thank you so much for joining us on air. We have a good time here on the Simone Edwards Show. All right, Miss Tiffany Lashe, thank you for the birthday song. Antonia, thank you for the remix. I like that. I want to thank myself for actually tuning in and realizing it was my birthday that we were celebrating. So,
I think it's coming out soon on iTunes.
along with the dance has to be included. That's right.
The cover of the
Song dances that we don't really know what we're doing. So, all right, Tiffany. So let's jump into the deep end. Are you a native San Diegan? Let's start there.
A native San Diegan.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
born and raised.
wow. So you are a Cali girl through and through.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, very nice. So other than San Diego, because, we kind of have the best of both worlds here in SoCal, so we can go to the mountains in the winter and ski if we want to and be back in the beach, be back at the beach by like afternoon, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you could live anywhere in the world, anywhere, where would you live?
I think everybody knows this, and it would be New York.
Okay.
I actually lived there for 4 years, so.
New York is amazing, right?
I love it.
They call it the city that never sleeps for a reason.
You really don't.
Seriously.
You really don't sleep. No.
It's incredible. I mean, like, seriously, at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's just as busy at like 5 o'clock in the
Oh
afternoon.
yeah, I used to get on subway's like 2 a.m. off from work.
Yeah.
Packed or not packed, just people. There's always somebody around. It's just
Yeah.
always busy. It never sleeps. I've never seen it dead ever.
Ever.
On the streets, anywhere.
So what part of New York did you live?
Oh, I started in the Bronx.
Okay.
And I ended, before I came here, I was in Brooklyn. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she was born there. So she was born in Manhattan, and then we brought her to Brooklyn. That's where she was like raised for like 2 years. And then
Oh, wow. So South Ozone Park, Queens. Yeah, that's where I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like it? Queens
I
is
did.
nice.
Queens
I've
is
been
really
there a
nice.
couple times, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely love New York. I can honestly tell you, California, Southern California has spoiled me. And so the winters, not a fan. But New York always has a special place in my heart.
Of course, yeah. Winter is not, Took me a while to get used to layers. I'm like, layers. Like, so you want me to wear a scarf, a sweater under my jacket, gloves, a hat, and boots, and socks, and everything?
And wait,
like,
you'll still be cold.
And you'll still be cold. I'm like, winter over here is still flip-flops and a jacket.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
And that's like at night when it gets cold. So the layers thing, like my friends, my old coworkers literally had to take me shopping. Like, they go buy me boots. I was like wearing sandals for the longest. They were like, yeah, no, we're not in California. You need to go get some boots and some socks and leggings under your jeans. What is the layers? What is this? Yeah. I don't miss that for sure.
Or wait, there's one last thing for those who've never experienced an East Coast winter. It's when you've been outside and then you go from outside to inside and your face feels like it's on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to die.
That's just great.
Because you're defrosting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and single digit degrees.
Right.
Did that say, the news say 6 degrees? Oh, okay. Like the coldest has been, well, besides like last year, but the coldest has been here is like, what, 40?
Right.
So I was like, is this a single digit? Oh, okay.
But even with all of that, you would still live in New York?
I would, yeah.
What of the 5 boroughs, which one would you live in?
Oh, Manhattan, of course.
Oh my God, Manhattan, Upper East Side, right?
I would live in Brooklyn too. I mean, definitely there are some nice areas in Brooklyn, but Manhattan for sure.
But seriously, Manhattan is seductive
like
for a
reason.
reason.
If I was in San Diego, I would probably be living in downtown or the beach or something.
Right.
But Manhattan for sure. Yeah, definitely. Exactly where everything is at.
Excellent. All right, Antonia, what about you? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
You know what?
She was daydreaming about where she was going to
for my program manager.
I'm multitasking.
She was daydreaming on where she was going to go.
Look, audience, see, this is what happened, right?
Loophole. Loophole. Just a loophole. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, she regularly finds loopholes.
You gotta keep in mind, I'm listening to the show as it's airing, and I'm listening to you guys live. I just kind of had to focus on one and not the other at the moment.
Multitasking.
So I kind of missed the question.
So with your multitasking self, where would you live if you could live anywhere in the world?
Go back home, Florida. There we go.
Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep it simple.
I would have to say London.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been?
I have. And I love London.
How beautiful is that?
It's
place?
amazing. And see, here's the thing. I would use London as my home base and then just kind of springboard to other countries. Like check out Ireland, go to Paris, Italy.
Paris is a good.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Paris.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I would do.
Wow.
Okay, so here's my next question for us to get to know you a little bit. All right, if you were granted an unlimited, Antonia, get ready. If you were granted an unlimited resources pass for 1 year, what would you do? Now, keep in mind, this is not a wish. Somebody, it could happen.
I can't do like
1 year. No, 1 year.
I mean, like one resource. I can't.
No. Unlimited resources.
Oh, sources.
You were granted an unlimited resources pass.
I'm just gonna list them.
But 1 year.
1 year.
What would you do?
One would be money.
Okay.
And the other one would be for like unlimited access to all the red carpet events and all celebrity events ever, and getting paid for doing pictures for celebrities. But I would say unlimited resource of what's what I'm looking for? Contacts. Just
okay. That's really good.
Yeah, photography, so I'm just getting called here and there, LA, Paris, New York, everywhere. So
Okay, excellent. When you go to Paris, just keep in mind that you'll
Of
need an
course.
assistant, and
I
I'm
do. I will
happy
need
to
one.
offer my my
I will need
assistance.
one.
Okay, thank
and
you.
I'll have the unlimited money, so I'll be able to pay you.
No.
Oh my God, I get paid.
Boom.
And I get to go to Paris.
And you get to go to
Oh,
Paris.
do it, Jesus.
And hotel paid for, because you're helping me out.
Wait, hold on.
Excellent.
This isn't a hypothetical anymore.
No, it could happen. I'm speaking it as though it
That's
could
what I'm
happen.
saying. It's not hypothetical
It's
anymore.
existence.
This is put out there. This is put
Yes,
out there.
it's now out there,
In the atmosphere.
along with the mic.
Along with the mic.
It's now out there. Okay, so let's go around the table. Antonia, if you were granted an unlimited resources pass for 1 year, what would you do?
Okay, so definitely top one, money.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Given.
And definitely time.
Okay.
If I could say that's a resource, time.
Okay.
I definitely need more of that.
Okay, excellent.
Like longer than 24 hours in a day?
Yes.
Okay.
When doing something fun, of course.
Sure.
Sleep is fun.
Sleep is fun. Unlimited resource of sleep.
Right, and that falls into time. Right.
That's right. That's right. That's good.
I like.
So I would say, just to round out the round table before we go to our next question, if I had an unlimited resource pass for 1 year, what would I do? Definitely finances. I would, pay off bills, purchase a home, get some equity, get some money invested, definitely get whatever equipment that I need, contacts, some of the things that you guys have said, just to make sure that for whatever it is that I'm projecting 5-10 years down the road, that's taken
Lasts
care
longer
of
than a year.
within that year. Yeah. So that would be good. So along with time, sleep, contacts, and the trip to Paris, I'm looking forward to my trip to Paris. Tell us, Tiffany.
You forgot one, money too, so she could pay you while you're in Paris.
That's right. She said she would pay me. We got that. All right. I'm getting paid to be in Paris. Do it, Jesus. So tell us, Tiffany, what makes you happy? What are some of the things that make you happy?
Taking photos. Definitely making people happy makes me happy.
Yeah.
My daughter definitely makes me happy. My family, I have a huge family, and they make me happy.
How many siblings do you have?
I have a brother and sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
they're
when you
older.
said huge family, I was thinking like
Oh,
13 or 14.
I have like a whole we're the
Extended-
Wiley family, so it's like
Gotcha.
huge. We have like reunions every year. It's so that when I go to my reunions, that definitely puts me in a good place and makes me really happy. So family, my daughter, of course, which is a part of my family, taking photos, capturing amazing, priceless moments, definitely makes me really happy. I really get happy when I find a really good shot.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just make other people happy.
Nice. So let me ask you a question. You mentioned your daughter. How did becoming a mom, how did that change your life? The Tiffany before your daughter and the Tiffany now.
Wow. Changed a lot, definitely. When you have kids, it definitely makes you definitely way more responsible. It's really carefree and just, free-spirited and all. Not that I'm still not, but when you have a kid, you're, especially when they're babies, they only depend on you. So
Right.
it is an adjustment to learn how to just be for that person.
Right.
Not be able to just up and go.
Right.
That's a big change from when before I had, especially being in New York,
Right.
And I was there before I had her, so I was always like all over the place. And when I had her, it's like, now you gotta find a babysitter, now you gotta do this, and but it changed for the good.
Yeah.
Kids always bring out the best in you. So I'm learning how to be a parent every day. No parent is perfect, and it's a learning
Right.
experience every day. And she's teaching me, I'm teaching her. It's just, it's
Excellent.
It's a wonderful experience.
I love that. I actually read a quote the other day that said, a woman who becomes a mother never existed before. That a woman existed, but a mother didn't. And it's not
Right.
until that child is born that woman becomes a mother.
I totally agree with
And
that.
I really liked, as simple as it sounds, it's incredibly profound, because you're right, there is no manual, there is no book that says, here's this child and here's what you need to do to raise her to become the best that she could possibly be. So with that said, what is the best parenting advice that you've received so far?
Best parenting advice. Oh my gosh. Support your kids in whatever it is they do.
Okay.
Praise everything they do. She draws a circle. Act like it's the best circle you've ever seen in your life. I think that's really important with kids and
Right.
confidence and everything. So whatever she does, I'm like, wow, yeah, it's great, it's awesome. I think that's the best advice I got. Just be supportive of whatever it is that your kids want to do. And
Excellent. So the flip side of that coin is, it's coming, right?
I've been trying to think of this answer.
What is the worst, or I would say the worst, but the less than stellar parenting advice that you've received thus far?
Oh, what's the worst parenting advice? Probably not to. I had someone tell me once not to get my daughter's hopes up, like as far as like.
Wow.
Yeah, like.
Okay, that would definitely fall into the category of not good.
I think I don't know if I was still in New York at this time, but as far as like she, we call her princess. She wears her dresses. This is what she likes to do, and I think. Someone had told me like don't get her hopes up so that when she's older she's setting her up for failure and don't that like she's perfect, and I'm like I'm not of course my kid to me is
right,
not kid is perfect, but
right,
I'm gonna give my kid the best confidence possible. I'm gonna tell her everything and tell her she's beautiful and tell her she's talented and smart and everything. Like I'm not setting my kid up for failure. I'm actually helping her grow into the person that I would like to see her be.
Right.
That was like the worst advice I ever got. Like, don't get your kids' hopes up. Because, but this was also coming from a person that had a parent that downed them in whatever they did. So.
Well, which speaks to your reality. Your perception becomes your reality.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, that's. I think to kill a kid's dreams. I think that's just like a really horrible thing to do. So whatever your kid wants to do, support it.
Yeah, the slaughter of innocence is definitely.
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely one of the worst things that you could possibly do to a child.
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with you.
That's like my daughter. She's into drawing right now. She's really good. That's like me, be like, oh no, get away from me with your drawing. Like no, do something else. Go watch TV. Like
Right.
But I'm being really supportive because that's what she loves to do, and I love it, and she's really good at it. And even if she wasn't, I would still encourage her to whatever she wants to do. Whatever makes her happy at the end of the day. You got to build her confidence up,
It's so true.
The world is getting harder and harder. By the time she becomes an adult, who knows what the world's going to be like.
Right. And, it's funny because I think about the Olympians, that and I'm just going to use the Olympians because they're kind of like the creme de la creme of their sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you when they're interviewed and they talk about the influence that their parent had on them, it's usually always, my mom supported me and my mom believed in my dreams and she believed in me and I knew that if no one else was in my corner, that my mom was in my corner. So kudos to you.
And it takes you all the way to your adulthood. You'll always have that confidence because especially when your mom has your back. I mean,
right.
So yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely love that. Okay, so here's kind of one of those questions. Get ready. What parts of your personality do you see in your daughter that make you smile?
She's a social butterfly, just like me. She likes to talk a lot when she's comfortable.
Right.
What else? One thing that I think she gets from me, she really loves music and she learns songs like that.
Okay.
And every time I hear her sing a song, even if I had just played it, I feel like she's already heard it because she's like already getting the words, and that really like makes me like, oh, she's just like me.
Oh, that is awesome.
So that's one of the things. Among like other things, but for right now, that's what I can think of.
Very nice. What is the part of her that you see that makes you cringe? That's kind of like you. That's her you hear in the background. She's made a friend outside the studio doors, and so.
Oh wow! What makes me cringe? That's like me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! I don't know. I can't really. Oh gosh. Maybe I don't know. Sometimes being too social can be a bad thing.
Okay.
You can get in trouble in school. Like this one. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. No, that's.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I can't even think of anything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I guess it is a good thing. There's nothing that makes me cringe.
That's right. My daughter is flawless.
She's flawless. She's perfect. So
she's flawless, just like her mom.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I have to say.
There's nothing more.
Sorry, that was a total blank. I can't even think of anything.
That's totally okay. So let's transition a little bit. What are some of your hobbies outside of photography? So we know photography led you into a business.
Yes.
So outside of photography, what are some of the things that you do to kind of decompress in your daily life from being a mom and a working mom? And what do you do to relax?
I write in my journal.
You do?
Yeah, I've had a journal since I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
So I always get one. I get one every year.
Okay.
I finish it, but I always have to get one like every year. So
okay.
That's mainly. I love writing in my journal. I love going back like a year or two and like, oh my god, I did that. Why was I thinking that? Like, oh, this person really pissed me off. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, journal writing I really love it.
So what type of journal writer are you? Because there are the writers who, they write every single day and they're really consistent. They're the writers who...
I get in the mood where I write every single day, and then I'll wait a couple weeks or a couple months, and I'll wait maybe even longer, and then I'll get back into it. If an big event happens, like when I bought my camera, I put that in. When I had my first gig, I put that in. So yeah, I want it to be. It used to be an everyday thing, but now that I'm so busy, I need to make more time for it. And reading, that's another hobby that I need to get back into. Is there a particular type of book that you like to read, a particular type of genre? My favorite author is Eric Jerome Dickey.
Okay.
I love him. So yeah, I'm into him right now. It's been like that for a couple of years actually. So. Okay, very nice. But I like love stories. I'm like a hopeless romantic. So join the club. I love love stories, mysteries, stuff like that. Very nice. And so final question before we go to the break. Project 5 years into the future. And if the Lord says the same, what would you like to be doing 5 years from today? Professional full-time photography. Excellent. I want to be full-time, be able to travel if I can without interfering with me in my motherhood. Yeah, full-time photography. I don't want to be working at a desk. I want to be taking pictures. If I could be doing that on the daily, that would just be amazing. Right? Yeah. And actually, I was at a church in Temecula, and there was a prophet that was there, and he had told me to sow a seed and that my photography would be known worldwide in the future, and I would just be known. So he was like, definitely learn your craft. And so I definitely think that's going to definitely happen in the next 5 years. I really, really do hope so. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. So you will keep us posted with your going-ons so that we can let our audience know and we can kind of track your trajectory. Yeah, of course. So we can say, oh my God, we knew her when she was one of the new businesses starting out. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this time in getting to know Tiffany Lashe just a little bit. We'll be back in studio to talk shop, talk about photography, what she learned along the way, and where she hopes to be in a few years from now. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment.
Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's show? Would you like to share your testimony or any constructive critiques? Would you like to know how to be a guest on The Simone Edwards Show? Please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. We are also available on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Be sure to follow us to receive updates regarding the show and our other ministries.
All right, and we are back here in studio with Miss Tiffany Lashe of Tiffany Lashe Photography, which we hope in a few years will become a worldwide and a household name. She's our new businesses to watch for our new businesses to watch segment. So how long have you been in business now? It's been about I bought my camera in 2013. Okay. So about 2 years. Very nice. Yeah. So at what point did you discover that this was a gift for you? Well, I've always had a knack for it, and I've always just been interested in photography. I always used to collect magazines, and I just loved the moments I was captured. Right. When I was little, my dad always used to have a million pictures. I have probably 7 albums, and my dad always had his old Canon camera, so I always was fascinated with the camera, and always just loved all cameras. Period. Right. So I always wanted to get one of my own, and I remember I was a little bit older, maybe I think it was a youth photographer at my church in North Park for the youth.
for a little bit. So that was like my first like experience. And then probably when I was about like 16, 17, I took my dad's camera and I just started taking pictures. And I really loved it as always, but as I was getting older, obviously like other things changed. So I was like, I wanted to be a makeup artist. I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I like just didn't even really think about photography. And then, of course, being in New York, it's just enough vision as it is just being there. But surprisingly, I actually didn't get into it there only when I came back. Because I came back in 2012. So by 2013, I was just getting older. And I was like, I think this is something I really want to do. So I'm just going to go buy this camera. And I did. And I started off in my church at Total Deliverance. And I started doing all the church services.
That's
excellent. How I started. Yeah.
That is absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
So now that you're kind of 2 years into the field and 2 years kind of putting your hands out there, let's just roll back the time just a little bit. What do you wish you knew 2 years ago?
I wish I knew more editing 2 years ago and lighting. It's definitely a big deal in photography. I'm just thinking taking pictures, but once you start uploading, you're like, wow, that one's really dark, and I could do a lot with that one, maybe change, so I definitely would have, over the years, obviously I learned, and I'm still learning for sure, but I definitely wish I would have learned more about the lighting and editing back then, so then by now it would have been perfect.
But and here's what's great is you're only 2 years into the field, so you have so far to go.
I do,
to develop like your look.
Yeah, so that's definitely like I said, learning your craft, and that's exactly what I am doing and need to do. But I wish I would have definitely done that back then. 2 years ago.
So now that you've been in the field for about 2 years, is there a particular area that of specialization, or are you just kind of trying your hand at everything?
I'm trying my hand in everything.
Nice.
At first it was just like events,
right?
Because sometimes I like to do landscaping photos, and because it can be easier than doing people, but the money is with the people. We can't take a picture of a flower unless somebody buys it,
right?
But I would I'm into everything. Everything is, weddings, this was this year alone, but I didn't want to get into it because it's such a big deal, and weddings is that was my last thing to do.
Right.
That's weddings, that's the people's albums are going to have forever, very important pictures. So I was like, I'm not ready for this, but I did it, and I had 3 this year, so. Wow. And they were small ones, they weren't huge or anything, but definitely need to have more practice and do more, especially with editing. Editing is very important, especially with wedding photos. But I'm in everything. Doesn't matter, baby showers, maternity photos, just regular photo shoots, or corporate events, church events, pastor appreciations, women's conferences, CD release parties. That's everything. I don't have a specific thing that I want to take photos of. I can just do.
Is there a particular genre out of those things that you kind of find yourself gravitating towards, like when you get that gig for, let's say a corporate event or a church event or a portrait, that you get really excited?
I really like doing photo shoots with individuals, or I'm doing a couple photo shoots with a friend right now. He's a fashion designer. So I really get excited when we're doing those shoots, especially when the pictures come out all good and they're doing their poses, and I'm still learning. So I'm just, having them do things, and sometimes we just freestyle and have them do their own thing, and just, capturing the moments, especially he has clothes, so we're just trying to capture them in their clothes and everything, and bags and stuff like that. So that's what I've been excited about these last couple months. We did a couple shoots, and we have some more coming up too. So that, and I like just doing regular headshots. I like doing that too. I did maybe 2 different ones this year, so I like that. I'm really into the people, so I really like events. I like doing events. That's what I started off as. I like doing events, but I like to be more personal. So personal photo shoots is a winner for me.
So you can kind of see yourself down the road, perhaps being like a fashion photographer.
I would love to do that.
So are we thinking not corporate, but commercial, or are we thinking high fashion?
High fashion. Vogue is my favorite magazine. If I can ever get one of my photos in there of a model, I would have lived my life.
So we're just going to put it out there because we believe God's going to do great things with the Simone
Yes.
Edwards Show. So Anna Wintour, if you're listening, she's the editor-in-chief for Vogue. Keep an eye out for Tiffany Lashe
Oh, man,
of
that would
Tiffany
be-
Lashe Photography.
I would probably be nervous, but that would be the best shoot ever. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh!
my
Just,
favorite.
yeah, get in with an
magazine.
assistant
man.
and just
Yeah,
let
those
God-
photographers are amazing. Like,
Yeah.
the ones I'm like, oh, how did they get her to do that? Like, oh, yeah. So that would definitely be, that's definitely a goal of mine.
Excellent.
The fashion magazine would definitely be a goal.
Okay, so we know Vogue is one of your favorite magazines. What's your second favorite fashion magazine?
Elle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like Elle.
That was a good one.
And then Vanity.
Okay.
Vanity is a good one. GQ.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
She says as she giggles.
And what's another one? Ebony, of course, Ebony magazine. I think that's about it.
Reach out to them. Send them your work. Let them know, I'm an amateur photographer and starting out, and I would love to
Should.
work for your company at some point or
That's a
be an
good idea.
assistant. Hey,
Hey, put
They-
in the atmosphere.
that's right.
They might call me.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
So right now, how would you describe your style? Is your style developing? Have you developed it? Is there a look that you have in mind?
I think I'm developing.
Okay.
And especially when you do people, it just depends on the person and what
Right.
they bring as well. So as a photographer, you can bring certain things out, but that model or person still needs to bring something to the table as well. But I'm still developing
Okay.
in that area for sure.
Oh, excellent. Is there a favorite photographer that you have?
There's not. I like so many. I don't even know if I can even pinpoint one out. I think I need to study more of photography's work as well.
Okay, and no, probably. I think sometimes that's a good thing, because usually when you have like that favorite, the danger is kind of
Going
in their direction,
style.
right?
Yeah, I don't really. I like follow a couple of photographers on Instagram and stuff, but that's one of the, because a lot of people do take pictures, but that picture was already taken. They do it in their own. I really, really try to be original, so I really try not to pay attention to other photographers too much.
Right.
Because, their ideas is great, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do the idea, but I would feel like it's not my
Right.
photo,
Right.
So I don't follow a lot of photographers.
Yeah, I think that's really good though. I think the expectation sometimes when you're in an artistic field is that you have to have an artistic mentor that you follow. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that school of thought because, like I said, I think the danger sometimes is when you have that one or two people that you really like their style. There's a tendency to kind of gravitate in that direction, and then you limit who God made you to be, and you limit your own creative
Right,
fingerprint.
because you're going off of that person.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a good
Sure.
place to be in. Tony?
Well, for someone that's not into photography, how is it that you establish your look or your style? I mean, with a painter, you normally can tell by their brush strokes or their use of color. How do you tell that with a photographer?
Excellent question.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a really big freestyle type of photographer. I go with whatever the atmosphere is and however that person is, and I try to bring out what I can bring out. But
Right.
I'm really like freestyle big time. Like I don't have like a set way that I do something yet.
Right.
So yeah.
But I think freestyle might, just listening to you, I think freestyle might become your style. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain photographers that I can look at their work. There are people with whom I'm acquainted that I can see a picture and say, I know that this person took this photo. I can look at a wedding shot, or I can look at a corporate shot, and I have a friend who's a photographer right now, and I can immediately go, Natasha took that picture. Or I can say, there are two other photographers that I'm acquainted with, John Medell of John Medell Photography, that, oh my God, when I grow up, if I could take pictures half as good as him, I would have arrived. And the other one is David Bazabal, and they are amazing photographers, completely on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Oh wow.
John is very much into light. He's very much a photographer that gravitates towards light, whereas David tends to gravitate his pictures tend to have more of a darker look to them. He's
okay.
more, yeah.
Okay.
So for you, with, you know, you describe your photography as being freestyle, that could actually be a signature style where perhaps you're more of an emotive photographer, like you capture emotion.
Right.
And you capture...
And I'm more like in the moment, like live in the
Yeah.
moment with the photography. So I'm not really good at planning. So it's like you pick the location and we'll figure out from there. It's like, oh, so how do you want them to be? And I'm like, I can't think about that. When I see them and we have the atmosphere and we're at where we're at, I just kind of go from there. And sometimes I won't even, they'll just do a certain look. I'm like, stop right there. Like, I'll get that, you know? So
yeah.
freestyle, like I said, maybe that is my freestyle photography.
And it could very well develop into that becomes your look, and that becomes your identifying trademark.
Yeah.
And that becomes something that other photographers want to emulate in time.
Oh.
So...
all in the atmosphere.
All in the atmosphere. So I want you to join the debate.
Okay.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
Seriously, high five.
High five. Oh my gosh, of course. I'm like Apple everything.
It is
everything.
Okay, I'm sorry, you
She
guys.
must be an Android person. See that face?
We're gonna ignore her. We're just.
She has an iPhone.
We're gonna ignore her right now. So, our listening audience, allow us to just geek out on you for a moment. Seriously, Apple is so intuitive when it comes to...
Everybody that knows me knows I am obsessed with Apple. I've been obsessed with Apple since they had like the big computers with the colored backs. I was like, oh my god, look at all these colors. I gotta look at it. I gotta get it. The little laptops. Oh man, the phones. I have to get...
I'm just gonna stay out of this conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna invite you to stay out of this conversation.
I have to have, like, my daughter has her iPad. I have my iPad mini. I have my Mac.
Right.
I have my iPhone. I have my iPod.
It's just Apple.
It's just Apple.
But
I have to get an Apple product at least once a year.
And here's the thing about Apple. Apple, if you want to send us a check for endorsing you, go
or
ahead.
a couple free products.
Or some free products. We will take one or the other. But seriously, for a creative... it is one of the best tools to work with. It is so intuitive. It just is almost like, it doesn't necessarily think for you, but it makes thinking and being creative so much easier.
Oh my God. And Siri's my best friend.
Oh, I love
She knows
Siri.
Everything. I love her.
I made her British, so I have a
You
British
did?
assistant. I do. And every day she mispronounces words, and it makes me just a little bit happy. She does. She's British. And she says, okay, make a left onto El Cajon Boulevard.
El Cajon.
And I was like, yes, I will turn onto El Cajon, Siri. I love you.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I just love their products. They're just so beautiful. The phones. Oh, the iPhone 6, when it came out, I was obsessed with it. I know it's material items, but I love them. I just love every Apple product ever. I want an Apple TV. I want a big MacBook. Oh, I want it all.
Very nice.
Right? Don't you?
You know, she keeps eyeing me like she's gonna convert me. It's not gonna. He's trying to. My hubby's trying to convert me. It ain't gonna happen. He even bought me a MacBook. I still haven't started using it yet.
You never got a MacBook and yet.
It's just sacrilege. It's like I can't even entertain the thought.
You see the tier?
Right. But if you would like to donate it this way,
or this way,
right?
We can share.
We will share.
1 week I have it, 1 week you have it. It's like a kid,
right?
Joint custody.
We have joint custody. We will name it.
I can't believe you haven't opened it. Oh my god!
I've opened it. I've looked at it.
I'm like opening the products when I'm coming out the store. Okay.
I opened it. I looked at it.
You opened it and looked at it.
I did a few little ditties on it, and I'm good. I still prefer PC.
You know how much MacBooks
We're going to take
cost?
a moment to pray right now, Father.
Everybody bow their heads all over, whoever's listening.
We're going to have a moment of silence for the lack of use of the MacBook.
Oh my gosh.
Just wait till she discovers what it can do
there
for her.
we go.
Yeah.
Which one do you have? You have like a Pro or just a Air?
I would ask him.
She doesn't even know what it is. Oh gosh.
Okay, so let's segue back to this business that you have started. What are some lessons that you've learned in the last 2 years starting this business? Not necessarily from the creative standpoint, but from the technical business. Because, and here's what I want you to keep in mind as you're answering this. A lot of times when you are a sole proprietor, you have to be both the creative and you have to have the creative aspect of your mind working as well as the analytical business side of your mind working. So what are some lessons that you've learned along the way?
In the beginning, because my prices are low, but in the beginning they were kind of like free. So I definitely, and I would do a lot. So I definitely learned business wise that I do need to, this is my craft and this is what I do. I'm not saying I'm going to be charging like $1 million, but
Right.
I just get paid for your services. I definitely made a lot of those mistakes when I first started, and I'm still learning in that, because it is both. Like, as much as I love the photography, this is like my everything. So
Right.
and this is my passion. So more than a hobby. So it's not. It's hard for me to charge.
Right.
But I know it's my business, and for me to move on and to, make money in this is what I need to do. So I would just say that learning just the business aspect of it, and just booking better, and just communicating more about what the customer wants.
Okay.
So
Those are
that's
really valuable lessons. I
Yeah.
think that could really affect all aspects of someone who's starting out their business. You know what I mean? Is first and foremost, you started with just value. Is value in your own product, and
Right.
realizing that you do have something to offer
Right.
to the community
Right.
that's around you, and to the world that's around you, and that it's worthy of being paid for.
Right.
And then the other part of it is, making sure that you have your ducks in a row, and that you have your your bookings planned out. So I think that those are really good lessons to learn along the way.
Yeah. And it will carry me for on out. I'm still learning, but it's just because I just really started making money like the end of last year, this year.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So it was nice.
And it actually kind of follows the trajectory just a little bit. They say that within the first year of business, you don't really make money until about the third year. So you're kind of a little bit ahead of schedule.
Guess so.
Yeah.
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 And that's true, because you don't want, and I'm still not I'm not overcharging by any means, because I'm still perfecting my craft. So I'm still perfecting my craft. So I don't charge $1 million. There are some gigs that I've probably done that should have been a little bit more, but I'm blessed with what I receive. So
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. And then I think as you go along, this actually segues into the next question: is do you have a business mentor? Do you have someone in business that you can, or someone that you look to that can kind of help you gauge your evolution? Okay, here's where you were in year 1, here's where you are in year 2, here's where you are in year 3, where do you project year 4? Do you have
I have 2 cousins in LA that are really supportive of my business, and they help me out a lot on what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, and where I can be. They really, really uplift me. So my 2 cousins in LA definitely,
excellent?
they're definitely good mentors for me.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
What would you want? So, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk shop a little bit more. We're going to take a break in just a moment. But before we go to break, what do you want God to do for TLP? I've just given you an acronym, TLP.
You
Tiffany
did.
Lashe Photography. Yeah,
I was like,
it.
TLP.
You're like, what? Just like me earlier. Whose birthday? I was so excited for someone. I don't know.
I would. I want to be known like farther than San Diego. I would definitely like God to take me to different states and to different events, and to take photos of different people, and definitely want to be known worldwide. I mean, I definitely believe God can do that for me if it's His will.
Right.
Just to take me farther than I can ever dream. So definitely outside of California for sure. I would love to like Fashion Week in New York. That would be like a dream come true for sure.
It's possible.
So yeah. So just to take me abroad, outside of my hometown, it would be just traveling, taking pictures. A lot of photographers, they travel. They do here like, hey, I need you here in Atlanta. I need you here in Chicago. Do this event, this and this. So,
excellent.
yeah, the farthest I've been was like LA. I have an internship in LA where I do red carpet events. So every now and then.
So see, it's already starting.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, it was like from the beginning of the year. Yeah. So we haven't had anything recently, but that was really, really fun to do that. So to see a couple celebrities and stuff. So and you can make money off those pictures too.
Oh, that's really nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back in studio in just a moment with Miss Tiffany Lashe of Tiffany Lashe Photography. Give us just one moment and we'll be right back.
Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's show? Would you like to share your testimony or any constructive critiques? Would you like to know how to be a guest on The Simone Edwards Show? Please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. We are also available on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Be sure to follow us to receive updates regarding the show and our other ministries.
All right, we are back here in studio, wrapping up coming to the top of the hour. I can't believe that we are almost out of time. Oh my goodness, where did the hour go?
Seriously.
We've had such a blast in studio with you. Here's what I want to ask in our closing out. What has been your favorite photo shoot thus far?
One of my favorite photo shoots has been probably the fashion design shoots.
Okay.
You know, definitely not only helping my business, but helping the fashion designer's business, or even just being a part of, you know, the business. But
Right.
the best photo shoot that I had a blast was just a couple weeks ago. We did a shoot with two of my coworkers.
Okay.
We did like a night out with the girls. He had these two dresses that he designed. We were downtown, like we're over like by my job. I work in like Front Street, like kind of gas lamp area, and then we just kind of went to the Grant Hotel and was like, so can we use this area? And we just like, it was like nice. He had the chandeliers, you know, the pictures came out really nice. So that was a really, really fun shoot.
Excellent.
So that was probably like one of my favorites so far.
So here's my next question for you. In the balancing out of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance your faith and your craft? And then the second part of that question is, are there any boundaries that you've set for yourself as a photographer that says, here's the line that I'm not going to cross because of my faith in God, because of what I believe?
Well, to answer that one, because it just comes to my mind first, I would never do a type of shoot that's like demonic in any way.
Okay.
Any type of non-believer type of shoot, any Satanist craziness.
Right.
I would never do. That's a boundary that I won't cross. Definitely, anything that has to do with nothing that's of godly. Like not all photo shoots are going to be, you know.
Right.
But
Every shoot isn't
nothing
going to be.
that's too dark and too satanic, I guess.
And
that's a boundary I definitely would not.
Yeah.
No matter what the price is, I won't.
And I think
cross
that's excellent, and that's a good thing to kind of establish while you're in the genesis of your business, to just say, okay, projecting ahead, here are certain lines that I'm not going to cross. There are certain things that this is not in line with my faith, and so no matter how great the money may be, you know what I mean? It may be like, we're doing the remake of Carrie 14.
Yeah, I got to pass on that. Yeah, and I wouldn't want to put myself in that type of.
Right.
I don't like even watching really scary movies like that anyway. So.
Same here. So
that'd definitely be a boundary I wouldn't cross.
Excellent. So then, how do you, on a daily basis, how do you integrate or balance your faith and your craft?
That's a good question. I kind of need an example. I don't.
Or here's another way to say it: how does your faith influence? Does it influence your photography?
It does. I mean, most of my photography is most of my business is from my church members, so
Right.
It definitely influences a lot. Like most of the weddings I did, one of the weddings was, you know, church members. I'm doing a maternity shoot tomorrow from a church member. Do 2 baby showers. Just most of my events this year have been from church members, so my faith definitely it helps a lot with my photography.
Excellent. No, that's really good. And it's good to have a jumping point and a starting place as you go to build. So do you have like your website and all that stuff up and running?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is your website if we want to go and check out your work?
My website is tiffanylashephotography.smugmug.com. until I get my own domain. That's all my stuff is right now. On Facebook, I have a Facebook page, Tiffany Lashe Photography. You can look that up.
Okay.
On my Instagram, you can look up Beauty Photos 77, and that's all.
So why is your Instagram different than the rest?
I put a lot of I do put a lot of the whole albums on my website, but I get more, obviously I have followers on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, so I tend to put more on Instagram than anything. So usually if I do a photo shoot, I usually do like a collage of 4 photos and I just put them up, but then I'll put the album up on Tiffany Lashe Photography. When people see them more, I get more feedback from Facebook and Instagram. That's just, Smug Mug, I can see how many people view it, but I don't get any like really one-on-one like contact or anything.
Okay.
When I put something on Facebook, usually then I get a contact saying, hey, are you available to do this birthday party or something like that. So I have more followers on Instagram and Facebook than I do on my website, because I can see how many people view my photos, but so Instagram is definitely a good advertising.
It's definitely, and especially since it was designed for photography, so it's a great way to get your work out.
Definitely, yes.
Excellent. Tiffany, it's been such a pleasure having you in studio with us today. We hope that you have enjoyed our interview with up-and-coming photographer Tiffany Lashe of Tiffany Lashe Photography. She is definitely one of our new businesses to watch. She's about 2 years old and definitely growing and kind of finding her niche.
I am.
in photography. Absolutely wonderful person to meet and to work with. So if you are in need of a photographer, we would encourage you to reach out to her. You can connect with her at www.tiffanylashe, that's LASHE photography, at smugmug.com. You can also reach her at Tiffany Lashe Photography at Facebook, or you can find her on Instagram at Beauty Photos 777. 77. Just 2 sevens.
Just 2.
2 sevens. We're going to give the extra 7 just on the lowdown.
I can also change my name to another 7.
But through Instagram, it is Beauty Photos 77. And if you are in the San Diego area and you have liked what you've heard and you would just like to come out and spend some time with Antonia and I, we just to find out where we fellowship, because faith actually motivates what we do here. And this is our platform and our opportunity to give others a platform as well as to glorify the Lord Jesus Christ. So if you don't have a church home, we want to invite you to come out to Perfecting Grace. Perfecting Grace is located at 3142 East Plaza Boulevard in National City, California, 91950. You can find us on the web at perfectinggrace.net. Come on out. It's church distilled down to Jesus. We start at 9. We're done by about 11:30, 11:45, and it's definitely come as you are. If you have enjoyed the interview with Miss Tiffany Lashe and you want to find out more about Total Deliverance Worship Center and you would like to come and worship with her, tell us where we can find you.
Spring Valley. Oh my gosh, the pastor's gonna kill me.
They are Total Deliverance Worship Center is located in Spring Valley. You can look them up on the web.
Yes, Total Deliverance Worship Center.
Total Deliverance Worship Center. You can
on Facebook.
Facebook. Yes. So you can definitely check them out there. Thank you once again for tuning in. We thank you so much. We will see you next week at 4 p.m. here on the Simone Edwards Show. Again, Miss Tiffany Lashe of Tiffany Lashe Photography. She is an up-and-coming photographer here in San Diego area, but she's not going to stop there.
No.
She's going to go to greater heights, and you heard it here first on the Simone Edwards Show. So we will see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and see you soon. Bye.